Welcome to this video on the trickery of availability bias, a cognitive bias that can cause us to make flawed decisions based on our perceptions. We'll explore what this bias is, how it works, and how to overcome it to make better decisions. What is availability bias? Availability bias is a cognitive bias that occurs when we make decisions based on how easily we can recall examples or instances of something, rather than on a more objective assessment of the evidence. Essentially, if we can easily think of examples of something, we may overestimate the likelihood of it happening. How does availability bias work? Availability bias works by using our memories as a shortcut for making decisions. Our brains tend to prioritize information that is more recent, vivid, or emotionally charged, making it easier to recall. This can lead us to overestimate the frequency or likelihood of an event, simply because we can easily recall instances of it. One example of availability bias is the fear of flying. Many people are afraid of flying, even though statistically it is much safer than driving. This fear is often fueled by media coverage of airplane crashes, which are highly publicized and emotionally charged, making them more memorable and easier to recall. As a result, people may overestimate the likelihood of a plane crash and avoid flying, even though it is a safer mode of transportation. Another example is the perception that crime is increasing, even when it is not. This is often fueled by media coverage of high-profile crimes, which makes them more memorable and easier to recall. As a result, people may overestimate the likelihood of being the victim of a crime and take unnecessary precautions. How to overcome availability bias? One way to overcome availability bias is to actively seek out more objective information and to be aware of our own biases. We can do this by seeking out data and statistics that provide a more accurate picture of the likelihood of something happening. For example, if we are afraid of flying, we can look up statistics on airline safety to reassure ourselves that it is a safe mode of transportation. Another way to overcome availability bias is to challenge our own perceptions and assumptions. We can do this by actively seeking out information that contradicts our beliefs, and by being open to changing our minds, if the evidence supports it. In conclusion, availability bias is a cognitive bias that can cause us to make flawed decisions based on our perceptions. By being aware of this bias and actively seeking out more objective information, we can make better decisions and avoid falling prey to this trickery of the mind. If you like this video, do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, Explified.